Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to LS Forensics. Let's look inside and see what happened. Our subject today is a 2001 LS6 that came out of a Z06 Corvette of the same year, the original to that car. We're going to diagnose and explain what happened there. We're going to diagnose and explain what happened there, and there's more on the other side, plus various pieces. Well, I got all the bolts off the front cover. See what happens back behind that. All the teeth on both. It already has a little slack, and that was not in there very long at all, but God knows what happens when you hydrolock it. Let's get this oil pump off, get back in there. I think we're going to start seeing some fun stuff when we take the pan off. Remember to get that pickup tube bolt there. In this particular instance, I don't really care if I drop it in the pan. There we go. Get this little plate off here, the four. I know I don't have, I do have the right one. Holy crap. Mark this day and time. I'm using a T40. That's exactly what it uses. Okay, quick show of hands. How many people think this cam's gonna come out in one piece? That's not uplifting at all. Pull it out very slowly just in case it is good. Rotate it a little bit. It'll go to the next little level. Keep going till it stops. That means a lobe is on one of those cam bearing journals. Keep rotating. It'll come a little bit more. Keep going. Just be patient. See? Well, a little further. Oh, I'm acting like it's breaking my heart to pull this thing out of this block, but this block has holes in the side of it, and it looks like the cam is probably not going to be used for anything in the future either. Yep, here we are almost at the, ooh. Well, we know for sure that the cam's not going to be used for anything now. That one's just, oh man, that one's got some issues up there. Let's get the rest of the way out. 2871R. I can't even remember what this was. I just know it's a cam, and it made it go until it blew up. Let's flip it over, take the pan off, and see the real carnage. Any of you guys starting to think bad thoughts? Yeah, that's just pieces in there. Let's take that pan off. Okay, it's the big moment. Smoke them if you got them. Time to get this pan off here and see the carnage. It's not coming right off, which is, I'd like for it to be that there was a bolt left over, but I think it's the fact that pieces are just stuck everywhere. This would also be a time if you're sitting there with a shot of some, I don't know, your favorite brand of tequila. Here we go. Oh God. These are just extra. Look at that. Just carnage, man. Was it just 7 that came out? Let me take off this windage tray. That's where the true story lies. If I'm being honest, I'm not entirely sure that this windage tray is gonna pop right off here because it's mangled. Okay. All right, let's get some forensics going. 1, 2, 3, 4. As we get closer to the bottom. Oh wow, let me turn on some light here. Looky thar. There's a piston and a rod and oof. I'll take the rest of this stuff out of here, the caps and all that, but you get an idea what happened. And look at the side of the block there. This is all just chunks, man. That's officially scrap. But this is an example of hydrolocking. Hydrolocking, of course, when you go into water, water gets into the intake, gets down inside the cylinders, and you can't compress water, so this happens. This is all stock guts except the camshaft that was in it, so I didn't really kill anything huge money, but it's absolutely gone. All I can really do now is take a couple of the, hey there, take a couple of the sensors off of it. The cam smoke, I'll have to test every rod and piston and everything, but I don't hold a whole lot of hope that anything in there is good. You guys looking for anything off of a blown LS6? Oh, look at that rail. Oof, the carnage. Couple of things. That right there, if you saw an earlier video, is from this connecting rod being broken loose, and it was stuck up in the top of the cylinder there. And since it was able to spin as valves spin, you know, they all spin as they rotate and all that kind of stuff, the valve was hitting this for several revolutions. This car ran. It blew up about, I don't know, probably half mile from the house, and I drove it home with every single bit of the damage you see on the block. And in case you're wondering what the other end of that rod looks like, there she blows right there. A little hole on each side there. Reluctor looks like it's okay. See, I'm looking for anything positive. It actually looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 8 are relatively unscathed. The boy 7 is just gone. I must admit, I've put it off as long as I can. These 97-degree days in Florida. Just getting over a cold, all kinds of stuff going on in my life, but now I can't resist it anymore. That new 383 is sitting in my Z06, and I wanted to point out a couple things to you guys, if I can get down in here okay. See how that oil pan doesn't look like a Batwing oil pan anymore? Because it's not. An LS3 oil pan. I've been going through and trying to figure out kind of my triage as to what stuff I should hook up first and what I should hook up later and all that. I still have to put my knock sensors in there and the harness for that. But I want to make sure I don't get ahead of myself. Still have to do the steam ports front and back. On this particular engine, it was a port kit on the front, but on the back it was just plugs. So I'm not having to really change anything, using the same stuff that came off, just replacing the seals. Got a new water pump, AC compressor, all that stuff. Let's get to it. Next video is going to be the headers, all of the plugs, every damn thing that has to do with all the stuff under the hood, the injectors, every bit of the wiring, and then we'll see if we can get it to crank. Not start quite yet because we have a couple of other things to do, but we are now to the point where we're putting it back together instead of yanking it apart. Whew, it's been a long time coming. This car's been sitting here for a year. That's why it looks like absolute crap on a biscuit. Thanks for watching, guys.